Hi there, it's Matt here, and welcome back to the podcast. Okay, just imagine a future where a new sleeping pill held the promise of potentially reducing your risk for developing Alzheimer's disease in the same way that exercise, nutrition, and well-managed blood pressure do. Indeed, until recently, the very opposite seemed to be more likely. That is, the use of common sleeping pills, such as the benzodiazepines, and then drugs like Ambien, have all been associated with a higher risk of Alzheimer's disease, not a lowering of the risk. Although that is not a causal relationship so far. However, a new class of sleeping pills that are now out on the market suggest the potential. And again, I want to be so tentative, as it is early days, and it is only the potential of reducing your Alzheimer's risk. Before we get to that, let me take a step back and set the table so that the experiments and new discoveries I'll describe later make any kind of sense. Over the past 15 years, we and many others in the field have discovered that there is a significant and now causal connection between poor quality and inadequate quantity of sleep and the development of accelerated Alzheimer's disease pathology in the brain. Let's talk about the fact of what happens to your brain when you sleep at night. In other words, your brain's night shift duty. While you're asleep, specifically in deep sleep, a specialized cleaning crew operates like a city's sanitation department, methodically clearing waste that accumulates during waking hours. We call this the glymphatic system. During deep sleep, spaces between brain cells expand by 60%, allowing cerebrospinal fluid to pressure wash away toxins. Among the waste products removed, amyloid beta and tau proteins, the molecular villains of Alzheimer's disease. The brain's amyloid clearance doubles during deep sleep compared to wakefulness. This represents one of neuroscience's most important recent discoveries, fundamentally changing our understanding of sleep. It's not passive rest, but active detoxification. Without sleep, or even just short sleeping, we have observed a rapid waste accumulation within the brain. A single all-nighter nearly doubles tau protein levels in mice. In a groundbreaking 2019 science study led by Holtzman's lab, sleep deprivation was shown to increase tau levels in human cerebrospinal fluid by approximately 50%, along with an approximately 36% rise in synuclein, a protein strongly linked to Parkinson's disease, highlighting how just one sleepless night can accelerate harmful brain changes. These represent direct causal effects, not merely correlational observations. The effects extend beyond protein accumulation. A Norwegian study used MRI tracking to monitor molecular clearance in real time. After one night of total sleep deprivation, the brain's waste removal system showed impairment across multiple regions, particularly in areas vulnerable to Alzheimer's, including the hippocampus, amygdala, and prefrontal cortex. Notably, even after participants were allowed to sleep freely the following night, their brains had not returned to normal clearance levels. The brain's cleaning system remained compromised for at least 48 hours later, similar to a clogged drain that stays blocked even after the blockage source is removed. Population studies show a related pattern, though these, what we call epidemiological studies, are only correlation, not causal, like the evidence I just described above. A long-standing partner of today's podcast is Element, spelled LMNT. Element is a sugar-free electrolyte mix, and for me, it was the sugar-free part of that made me start using it quite some time ago. Beyond having the electrolytes in the right balance, the other reason I'm a fan of Element is that it's scientific
And if you look at the people who created the company, you'll find some pretty heavy-hitting physiology, biochemistry, and pharmacology knowledge that is baked into the product. And again, all of that comes without any sugar. I am a devotee of their product. I really do use them. I know people will say that on these ad reads. I use it every single day for my workout. I put it in my protein shakes afterwards. I do use it. Also, by the way, Element has just recently brought back the chocolate medley range, which you can have essentially your electrolytes hot. And in the trio of flavors, there is chocolate mint, chocolate chai, and also my favorite, chocolate raspberry. And by the way, I happily badgered them to agree to give you fine folks a free sample pack with any purchase of Element if you just use the link lmnt.com/Matt Walker. That's lmnt.com/Matt Walker.
Specifically, these studies have found that adults sleeping under 5 hours nightly have approximately twice the dementia risk of those getting 7 to 8 hours. Chronic short sleep in midlife increases Alzheimer's risk by 30%. With 42% of Americans reporting inadequate sleep, millions may be affecting their cognitive futures. The relationship appears bidirectional. Poor sleep elevates Alzheimer's proteins, which then disrupt sleep quality, creating a cycle toward neurodegeneration. And now we return to the connection with orexin. Orexin is a chemical messenger that maintains wakefulness, keeps you alert by sending activating signals throughout the brain. People with narcolepsy lack orexin, which explains their sudden sleep episodes. The new sleep drugs, the dual orexin receptor antagonists, or DORAs, work by removing the wakefulness signal rather than forcing sedation. Unlike older sedatives that suppress brain activity broadly, DORAs simply allow natural sleep to emerge when the alertness system is quieted. 3 are FDA approved: suvorexant, Belsomra, lemborexant, Dayvigo, and daridorexant, Quviviq. Millions use them safely. I've often used them when traveling on long-haul flights, based on all the research I've devoured about them, and all the pharmacokinetics, pharmacology, and safety profiles. This led researchers to investigate whether these drugs could protect brains from Alzheimer's. The hypothesis was straightforward. If better sleep clears toxic proteins and these drugs enhance sleep, perhaps they could reduce Alzheimer's pathology. The first breakthrough came in 2023 when the physician researcher Dr. Brendan Lucey, working with the scientist I mentioned earlier, the great Dr. David Holtzman, orchestrated what reads like a medical detective novel followed by a breakthrough revelation. They took 38 healthy middle-aged adults, ages 45 to 65, into a sleep lab for a 2-night protocol and gave them either suvorexant, 10 milligrams or 20 milligrams, or placebo in a randomized double-blind design. Here's the ingenious part. Researchers inserted catheters into participants' spinal fluid, sampling cerebrospinal fluid every 2 hours for 36 consecutive hours to watch Alzheimer's proteins rise and fall in real time. A window into the brain's overnight cleaning session as it happened. The results were striking. A partner and sponsor of today's podcast is Shopify. Let me share the link right away. Shopify.com/Matt Walker. As someone who spends his days researching sleep, the idea of selling merch felt, well, rather daunting. But I kept getting asked if I had t-shirts or gear. So I finally said, okay, Matt, get your act together and give it a try. And we have them coming. But the big question was, how on earth was someone like me, a scientist, going to get these items into your hands? Everyone said the same thing: use Shopify. It turns out Even me, an analog man in a digital world, was able to do it without any learning curve. Shopify is the commerce platform behind millions of businesses around the world and 10% of all e-commerce in the US. From household names like Mattel and Gymshark to brands just getting started. With hundreds of ready-to-use templates, you can build a really impressive online store that matches your brand style. Oh, and if you need artificial intelligence-powered help writing product descriptions or touching up images, Shopify's got that too. All of which is to say that if you're ready to sell, just try Shopify. So if you are interested, turn your business idea into reality with Shopify. Sign up for your $1 per month trial and start selling today at shopify.com/mattwalker. Once more, that's shopify.com/mattwalker. Those receiving the high 20 milligram dose of suvorexant showed dramatic reductions in toxic proteins by morning. Amyloid beta levels dropped 10 to 20% compared to placebo, while phosphorylated tau protein, the kind that forms deadly tangles, fell 10 to 15%. For a single overnight dose, these were statistically significant and clinically meaningful changes. The dose-response relationship was clear. The 10 milligram dose produced no significant differences from placebo, while the 20 milligram dose, the maximum FDA-approved amount, crossed the threshold needed to supercharge the brain's cleaning system. This suggests orexin suppression needs to reach a critical level to activate enhanced waste clearance. Most intriguingly, the two proteins behaved differently over time. Phosphorylated tau levels rebounded to baseline within 24 hours, but amyloid beta remained suppressed longer. When participants received a second 20 milligram dose on night 2, both proteins again plummeted, confirming the effect was reproducible and dose-dependent. The study revealed something like a neurochemical thermostat. You need to hit the orexin system hard enough to flip the brain into deep cleaning mode, and you need to do it repeatedly. Like household trash, the mess accumulates again by the next day. You need nightly removal to keep your neural house clean. Well, Doctor, David Holtzman's team took the investigation further, using mice engineered to develop Alzheimer's-like tau tangles. They fed some mice lemborexant, another DORAs drug, for months, while others received zolpidem, Ambien, a traditional sleep drug working through different mechanisms. This comparison was crucial. Does any sleep help, or is orexin blockade special? The lemborexant mice showed dramatically less brain damage. Most remarkably, their hippocampi, the brain's memory center, were 30 to 40% larger than untreated mice. They retained nearly half again as many neurons in this critical region. The zolpidem, aka Ambien mice, slept more but gained no brain benefits. Their hippocampi shrank normally, and tau tangles accumulated unchecked. The message was clear: not all sleep is created equal for brain protection. How you achieve sleep matters enormously. The studies revealed how orexin blockade with this new class of sleeping pills, the DORAs drugs, protects brains. They prevent tau protein from becoming pathologically toxic by reducing tau phosphorylation, those chemical modifications that transform helpful tau into harmful tangles. Both human and mouse studies showed the same pattern. Orexin blockade creates brain environments where toxic protein accumulation is suppressed. Better sleep through orexin antagonism means less toxic brain chemistry. These studies suggest important directions for Alzheimer's prevention research. They indicate that sleep quality improvements over time could potentially slow neurodegeneration and help preserve brain tissue. This holiday, while others are chasing the rush, I was wondering if I could suggest a sense of calm with the wonderful premium wellness tea company called Pique, spelled Pique. More specifically, their Nandaka brew. Nandaka is a cacao blend that does a superb job at redefining coffee alternatives. Unlike standard cacao powders, the high-grade cacao retains high percentages of cacao butter. Think of it as nature's lipid delivery system, maximizing absorption of potent compounds. The fermented pure tea provides sustained energy without coffee's crash, while functional mushrooms can help lift one's mood. I usually drink it around 10 a.m. instead of a second coffee, which would sabotage my evening sleep since I'm moderately caffeine sensitive. The sustained energy is calmer than coffee's adenosine blockade. It's also a bit of a luxury too. Why? Well, it actually tastes like a drinking chocolate from my childhood in the UK, so it brings back fond memories. Anyway, why not give the gift of glowing health this holiday season? Indeed, you can unlock 20% off for life at peaklife.com/Matt Walker. So that's PIQUELIFE.com/Matt Walker. Dr. Holtzman noted that current antibody drugs clearing amyloid plaques provide modest benefits in early Alzheimer's. An important unmet need involves addressing tau protein and its effects. Sleep-based interventions may offer a complementary approach. Future treatment strategies might combine anti-amyloid antibodies with orexin blockers to address both major Alzheimer's proteins simultaneously. I wanted to be really clear, though, scientific caution remains essential. The human study only involved 38 people over 2 days. The mouse study, while comprehensive, used animal models that don't perfectly translate to humans. It's premature to conclude that nightly orexin blockers will prevent human Alzheimer's disease. Dr. Lucey cautioned against using sleeping pills based on these early findings alone. Many questions remain: optimal treatment duration, safety of long-term preventive use in healthy individuals, and potential effects on sleep patterns in non-insomniacs. Individual differences in genetics, age, and sex could influence treatment effectiveness. Still, I and many of my colleagues like Dr. Lucey and Dr. Holtzman have all emphasized that natural sleep remains the gold standard. No drug perfectly replicates the complex neurochemical symphony of natural slumber. The best approach remains straightforward. Prioritize quality sleep through healthy habits first. Regular schedules, optimized environments, stress management, and treating sleep disorders provide proven benefits for brain cleaning processes. It is clear that sleep is emerging as an important lifestyle factor alongside diet and exercise that may influence brain aging patterns. As evidence develops, sleep-focused interventions could become part of standard preventive strategies for those at risk of Alzheimer's. Clinical trials testing orexin antagonists in high-risk populations are underway. Sleep medicine may become part of preventive approaches for neurodegeneration in the coming years. This is such an exciting set of discoveries. It really is. And with that, I wish you sound sleep this and every night. Take care. Thanks for listening, and bye for now.